Hello, hello. We are now about to start the mayoral candidate portion of our forum. And before we get started, can we give all of our candidates a round of applause? Thank you. We know how busy you are, and we just really appreciate you all taking time out of your schedule to join us today. The residents appreciate it. This forum is put on by the Oxmoor Valley Neighborhood Association along with the Alabama media professionals, and I have the honor of serving as president. So I'll go through the format. Yes, ma'am?
Excuse me, correction. This is not sponsored by us, it's sponsored by
Oxmoor Valley Foundation. Yes, my mistake. It is sponsored by the Oxmoor Valley Foundation. We will get questions today from those in attendance. Please fill out these cards if you would like your question to be asked. I will apologize ahead of time because we will not get to all of your questions, but we will try really hard. So questions from our audience, questions from Oxmoor Valley residents, and also questions from Alabama media professionals. Here's our format for tonight. Similar to what you just saw with District 7, our candidates will be given an opening statement, 30 seconds for that opening statement. Then the foundation would like for each candidate to come to the podium to answer this question. Why are you seeking the position of mayor of Birmingham? And please include goals you hope to accomplish in the next 4 years. You'll be given 3 minutes to answer this question here at the podium. After that, we will then turn to our questions on these index cards, and you will have 2 minutes to respond to these questions. And then finally, you will have your closing statement, and you'll be given a minute for your closing statement. Miss Barbara and Miss Beverly, give it up for our lovely Barbara and Beverly, our timekeepers. So our time is going to go like this. Miss Beverly is going to hold a green when it's time to go. Yellow means it's time to wrap it up. So you got about 30 seconds. And red, hard stop. Okay? All right, awesome. Are we ready to get started? I think so. All right. Let's start with our opening statement. You're given 30 seconds, and you can remain seated for your opening statement. We'll start with Mr. Africa first. If you would clap passing the microphone, thank you. 30 seconds.
Good afternoon. Thank you for participating and coming to this event. I'm happy to see you all here. You're looking at a person from our Africa who was born and raised in Smithfield, Alabama, Hill. If you want to see dignity, self-respect back in this city, quiet and calm, and an 800 patrol police force that is doing their job with no fear and backup so they can answer your calls in immediate time, I am the person for that job. I have a history of getting things done in my community for 40 years.
Thank you.
Hello, Oxmoor. I am State Representative Wanda Lee Gavan, and I am delighted to be here. Thank you, Madam President, and all of the officers here for hosting this event. I am fired up and I am ready to go. I am seeking the office of mayor for the city of Birmingham with intentionality, purpose, and promise. With that being said, I'll simply say this: Birmingham has tried every kind of man in the world, from an old man, a white man, a young man, every kind of man except for a woman. And I am ready to be the one to lead the city of Birmingham on August 26th. Thank you.
Well, I'm Brian P. Rice, commercial property owner in downtown Ansley, 25 plus years in manufacturing and engineering. 15 plus years in real estate development. I've lived across the country, and I'm only in Birmingham to figure out a way to create healthy and balanced communities here. They are not healthy and balanced. I am committed to the economy and ethics in City Hall. I am committed to integrity. Vote for Brian K. Rice if you want someone who's committed to integrity.
Thank you.
Praise the Lord, everybody. I am Evangelist Marilyn James Johnson. I am an evangelist of 25 years, first and foremost. I'm a country girl. I'm originally from West Bluffton, Alabama, Bibb County. I'm an advocate for the homeless. Last year I was homeless, but look at God. What a difference a year makes. And my effort here in Birmingham is to make a difference.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to the Oxmoor Foundation for putting on this excellent event tonight. I am LaShonda Scales. I currently serve as the Jefferson County Commissioner. I've also served for 9 years on the Birmingham City Council. It's my honor to be with you. My purpose of running is the fact that Birmingham is shrinking, we're dying, and we need a leader that's going to lead us into a better place. Number one is where we were, and that's where we have to go back to. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would pass the microphone, thank you so much. You ready?
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Randall Woodman. I'm honored to serve as Mayor of the City of Birmingham. It's good to be here. The Oxmoor Valley Committee, thank you to the Oxmoor Valley Foundation for allowing us to be here with you tonight. I look forward to going into more detail when we get on this mic and have 3 minutes to tell you a little bit more. Look forward to our conversation tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Frank Woodson. I'm your neighbor, 41st Street West in Ensley. While others are moving out of Birmingham, I chose to move in 26 years ago. I believe in this community. I'm not running for mayor because things are just terrible and our communities are neglected and there hasn't been a lot of effort. I'm running for mayor because I have the solution to the problems that are persistent over here in the Western District in Birmingham and throughout this city.
Time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for writing your questions. Once again, apologize in advance. I will not get to all of them, but I'll get to as many as I can. All right, candidates, I'm going to read this question once again, and then would love for you to come up to the podium to give us your answer. Let me understand, you may not be able to come up. Why are you seeking the position of Mayor of Birmingham? And please include your goals that you hope to accomplish in the next 4 years. You'll be given 3 minutes, and I would like to start with Mr. Woodson.
Good evening. I'm running for mayor because I think that everyone in Birmingham deserves a shot. I'm running for mayor because Birmingham is not working, at least not for everyone. I'm so glad that I had the chance to really campaign and go across because I see the despair. Our communities, 25% are neglected, another 30% are declining, and another 30% are collapsing. It drives the businesses out of our community when the neighborhoods don't work. So we see the McDonald's and the Burger King leave our community from Inslee and Wylie, not because people weren't spending money, but they're saying if the city does not invest in this community, then neither should we. These are our family's dollars. I'm running for Birmingham because I have the skill sets that I need, that are needed right now to stabilize our city, because there is no revitalization without stabilizing first. I work with President Obama's administration with the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. I was chairman of the State Land Bank Authority. I know how we can stabilize our communities. We've given to everyone. We built a baseball stadium. We built a football stadium. We have built 70% of the resources into an amphitheater. It is time that we invest in the people. We're going to take those side lots that are next to you that you have tried to cut for so, we're going to give them to you if you maintain them for 6 months to a year. And we're going to create affordable housing, real affordable housing, at $60,000, $80,000 a year by wiping these abandoned properties clean and letting you invest in them. I'm Frank Woodson, and I want to work for you and together to build a city that works for all of us. Thank you.
We'll continue with Mr. Woodford, and we'll follow all the way down to Mr. Allen.
Again, good evening, everyone. My name is Randall Woodford. A few years back, I came and knocked on the doors here in Oxmoor, Valley community, and many others across the city. I did more listening than I did talking. The information I received back, there was a basic question of focusing on our neighborhoods, supporting our children. That's what we did. We got to work right away, and every year we increased the funding and supported paving more streets in our city. I'm happy to stand before you to tell you over the last 7 years, we have invested $114 million in paving streets. That is more than my 3 predecessors over 15 years combined. I'm here to tell you that we, in that same time period, removed over 2,000 planted structures, because that's what you asked me to do. I'm here to tell you in that same time period, $16.6 million, we supported the condemnation of critical repair for existing homeowners, down payment assistance for new homeowners, as well as partnering with private developers to do new construction in various neighborhoods, from Council Heights to Bellevue Heights, North Pratt to Woodlawn, and many others. We said we would do things, and we delivered to those things. Question, why are we seeking office? Or in my case, why are we running for a third term? The answer is quite simple. We still have work to do. We still have the things to do that said we want to finish, which includes endowing the Birmingham Promise that has already sent, with this fall, class starting over 2,000 students to colleges across the state tuition free. So many other things we can do and continue to go vertical with construction on these empty lots. And so many other things we can do to invest in our city's infrastructure, as well as supporting economic development and small business. On August 26th, I will be honored to have your vote so we can finish the job together. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rashonda Scales again, and I want to say the reason why I'm running for mayor of Birmingham is real simple. Our city is shrinking. We have over 16,000 people that have left this city. We were number 1, we're now number 4. We have over 945 homicides. We don't have a crime plan, we're just talking and we're just putting things together, and we're saying that we're doing a lot, but you don't see it in the local community. That's why I'm running. I am a county commissioner that presides over 35 cities, and I recognize that while our neighbors are doing very well, and I see them doing very well, my city is dying. So LaShawn, what will you do? Number 1, we will fund the police department as well as organizations so we can get this violent crime under control. In addition to that, we're going to fund programming that brings about economic development. The city currently has defunded them. As this mayor, I will make sure your urban impact, your urban leagues, all these different programming, including Rev Birmingham, they need to be funded so that we can market Birmingham. And last but not least, we've got to get jobs. We're bringing jobs to the county, but unfortunately, we're not bringing jobs to the home city where I live. I look for Tuesday, August 26th. Let's take back our city. This is your community, and this is also your city. You want the change you want to see, not just what you hear, but what you see. Tuesday, August 26th is the change that you can believe in. I have a proven track record of results. I thank you again for your opportunity to speak with you. Look forward to much debate tonight.
Hi. My goal here in the Birmingham area is to start neighborhood initiatives where all of these neighborhoods everywhere will join together and have a prayer ministry where everyone will be gathered around to pray. Don't just wait until someone gets killed or whatever and pray. We need to pray while the people is living. Don't wait to start a candlelight visual at a sad time, but let's make these days happy times. Birmingham is a great city. I've been here, lived here off and on for years or whatever, even though I'm a country girl. But I love Birmingham, and it's time, as far as the police, what I would do, and I say this at the park, because I'm an advocate for the homeless, is put down the guns and pick up the Bible. Too many guns is out here on the street. But when you pick up the Bible, baby, you got ammunition in it from Genesis all the way to Revelations. And you know, when you read your Bible, you don't have to stand guilty about nothing, because God said, vengeance is mine. So here, I would like for you all, and love for you all to vote for Marilyn James Johnson on August the 26th to be the first Black female mayor of Birmingham. And I love you all, and let's take back Birmingham. This is your city, but now they don't live here. I'm included in this city as well. So God bless you all.
I'm Brian K. Rice. I moved back to Birmingham for one reason: to invest in underserved communities. I'm the only person in America with 100% of my equity erased. $0 appraised buildings in downtown Houston. When you look at your communities like Inslee and Wilder, North Birmingham, the reason why these communities look like this, they are locked out of resources. I am running for mayor because I want to make sure we get resources spread across the city. I am extremely concerned about ethics at City Hall. I'm extremely concerned about what happened in 1911 Title Walk in this community. A chairman of the Downtown Redevelopment Authority Board. All he does is plan out his own development with his business partners. 222 acres right down the street, $1.5 million. The average price for a property selling in this area is for just an acre, $50,000 or $100,000. We sell a property at $6,700 to people who are members of our appointed boards. The same thing happened with the financial literacy program. Members who are chairman of the BCR. The same thing has happened in North Birmingham School, Hill School. So the first thing I'm concerned about is the economy and ethics. I do not want public servants to put themselves first. I want them to put us first. I'm extremely concerned for our seniors and our communities, where they say, they talk about condemnation and demolition. All they're doing in our community is demolition, but the comprehensive plan says we must retreat from channeling resources to these areas. That means there's a policy that's saying we're not going to put resources to promote development. We must promote development across the city. This hurts seniors. I am extremely concerned about local business. I want to make sure we always put local business first. We should not have an organization called House Proud Atlanta. getting preferential treatment in Wild, $500,000 or in great money at College Hills for minor repairs that our local business can do. If our local business do not get contract because of Atlanta business friends, we cannot go draw jobs here. We cannot support families here. We cannot support communities here. We cannot support the youth here. I am extremely committed to the underserved. When I get into that office, I am going to fight for the underserved. I'm going to make sure our attorneys work for the taxpayers. I want to make sure that the economic rights set of attorneys and property rights attorneys that's working for you to protect your rights. I'm extremely concerned about what's going on in City Hall. That Mayor Council Act, that's the first thing I'm going to seek to change. I will reduce my power to make sure the citizens have appropriate power, to make sure the city council have appropriate power. I'm extremely concerned about a balanced government. I want to make sure there's fairness. My mother and my father and my father, they hated justice, and I hate it.
Listen, it's simple. If you like what you have, keep it. If you like what you have, Oxmoor Valley, you keep it. I'm here today because not all of the 99 neighborhoods look like Oxmoor Valley. 99 neighborhoods, but they not like us. The services that flow to the south side, downtown, and uptown are not like the ones that flow over here. Listen, we don't need to take back our city, we need to save our city. This city is on life support. Potholes 8 years ago look like craters in the ground right now. We survived the pandemic, but I'll deal with that particular issue tomorrow. They not like us. If you like what you have, keep it. My plan is a simple plan. We're going to save our city. This city needs CPR. We're going to deal with crime. We're going to conquer, combat, and control. People protection and progress. R, reinvest, restore, rejuvenate, and revitalize our neighborhoods. The NAP program. I have a platform. The NAP program is going to be the Neighborhood Advisory Participation Program. Creating partnerships with the neighborhoods to restore not just that 10,000, but I'm going to see if I can give you all more money because you need it. Our program for children will be called Your Child, Our Child. Well, we're going to restore the performing arts. We're going to fix these issues dealing with vocational training, reading proficiency, as well as a conflict resolution program. Listen, this city is worth saving. I'm not going to stand before you and say, take back something that we already have. It can't be taken from us because we already live here. We have a program for crime prevention. It's simple. It is called the Birmingham Protect and Serve Community Policing Partnership Program, where we're going to create substations throughout these areas that are heavily, have extensive crime. We're going to also work on de-escalation training. We're going to work on mental health programs. We are going to address the issues that are plaguing our neighborhoods by bringing back officers who have retired within the last 1 to 5 years. Birmingham roughly has about 400 to maybe 500 APO certified sworn officers. That is not enough officers to properly police this city. The Public Works Department needs revamping. Right now, there's only about 500 employees. That's why you can't get this city clean. I know how I know. I put myself through Miles Law School working on the back of the garbage truck, the brush truck, the litter truck, and working on the ditch crew. So with all that being said, we're going to also deal with rent stabilization. It's too high for many of our people to live. Rent stabilization, as well as we're going to build new housing. This is the last real housing development built in Birmingham in the last 10 to 15 years. And part of it's in the cutoff. Make it make sense, Birmingham. I am State Representative Gwendolyn Lee Gavan, and I approve this message.
Buyer beware. Buyer beware. I'm not going to get up and just tell you what your promises are, what I want to do. I'll tell you what I've already done. By the way, Mayor, my condolences to you and also to mother-in-law. I will not use politics to take advantage of somebody just because I want to run. I came from a family that started out in Smithfield in 1939, public housing. What runs through my veins is the same fire that my father had when he filed the first equal pay lawsuit for blacks at a civil court. When my brother, Jimmy Walker Jr., was the first black to go through the UAB medical establishment. That's my family. I want to tell you that I walked through this neighborhood 3 times on horse because I suffer from gout and I don't want to upset people, so you want to eat what grandma auntie say sometimes. And so I ate a barbecue sandwich and they slowed me up because I'm allergic to ketchup. But I'm the one up here, the only one, that fought and stood up for Alabama A&M. I didn't have to go through anybody. I called the president's office because I knew somebody that works there, Jackie Robinson. We wanted to get A&M because the powers that be do not want to see a black intellectual or middle class run this city. It is that simple. But I fought as well as I could. I also got $8,000 for the Boys Club at a place called The Yard, which I own, and it asked for a penny. I got $3 million for Smithfield back in 1983, and also from the Historic District, Merchants Association Enterprise Zone, and got a former felon by the name of Eddie with Eddie Seacoast, his rights back after he lost back in 1991. I was hired by Larry Langford, not because I was good, but I was the best, and organizing our people to make sure that he had 3 votes on that county commission to get their Winston sales tax passed, so you all could have a new school, elementary, middle, and high school. That was me that Larry had, again, because I was the best, not good, not just good. I gave Wilson School $7,400 when the previous for the map and the mascot and band uniforms when the previous president would not. I made sure the black contractors got to build the Bruno Smith Center. What will I do? I'm a victim. I got a grandson who just won a national championship in the marathon, probably I think on him tomorrow. Yeah. He was on the 4th grade and couldn't jump, couldn't run. Those old folk called him faded. They call him uncoordinated today. I had access to a building called Strickland Auditorium right in Summer. Do you know we don't have any rep centers in this city? Well,
Thank you to all of our candidates for your opening statements. Now we're going to move to our index cards. You will have 2 minutes to respond. 2 minutes. And you'll see the yellow when you're at about 30 seconds. All right, our first question. I would like to start with rice, followed by Gabon, then Africa, and then we'll move to this table. We'll start with rice first. 2 minutes. First question. How do you plan to address dumping throughout the city?
I own property in downtown Houston. One time I saw people actively dumping on my property. I ran down the police, who was 2 or 3 blocks away. He came up, he told the guys to hurry up and finish, and then he drove off. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure our city employees honor their jobs and do their absolute best. We must recreate a standard in the city of Birmingham that's about excellence. We must do that. In the area in downtown Hensley, actually on the west side, Lincoln Avenue W, 2 to 3 days a week, if I drive by there, it's always closed. So we are always wondering, when can we take our trash to the Avenue W site? Most of the time it's closed. And it's usually one dumpster there that's always half full of food. So let's make sure there's 2 dumpsters there. Let's make sure there's 3. Let's think about how we're going to be effective. We must take care of all sides of the city. One former city employee told me that one of the reasons is because they leave this side of town and they go to other sides of town to take care of other sides of town. Things like that are not right. We must make sure we have enough. If we don't have enough employees in that department, let's hire local contractors. Let's hire local contractors who will invest in those who are the least of these. How can we get our squatters working? How can we get our underemployed and unemployed working? I want to make sure there's incentives to where we are employing the least of these. They did a great job in Charleston, and I want to make sure we do the same thing in Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you.
Can I stand right here?
Sure.
I'll do better standing. Listen, it's simple. Go to GavanPremier.com. I have a plan for cleaning the city up and also maintaining it. It's called Operation 122. Former Mayor Larry Langford did his cleanup when he first took office, 23 for 23. That was the first 23 days. Mine is the first 23 days in 99. That would be the 23 neighborhoods, 23 communities, 99 neighborhoods. And that will be Operation 122. I worked at the Public Works Department, as I stated, putting myself through school after becoming Miss Miles College. I put myself through law school working for the Public Works Department. It's simple. First of all, the first thing I'm going to do is move this city back to a 2-day per week pickup in these neighborhoods. Birmingham is an urban city, and it does not make sense, and it is not comprehensible to move this city to 1 day, once a week pickup. That's the first thing. We're going to get those dumpsters back open, and we're going to reopen these public works dumpsters on the weekend. But we're going to also look at maybe strengthening the laws, but most importantly, we're going to hire more people in the public works department. You cannot clean a city of 96,000 people with only 500 people, and some of those are horticulture. That is why you see our communities looking like they look. That is why you see our green space is not as appetizing to the eye. We are going to have to bring people in, boots on the ground, who are going to get out here and clean these streets. And I'm going to mandate that it happens. Not only is it Operation 122, but we're going to do Operation Clean Sweep. We're going to get this filthy, nasty city cleaned up. It is unacceptable that if I'm in Homewood, if I'm in Vestavia, Mountain Brook, Fultondale, or Gardendale, when I drive into those neighborhoods, not one Cinderella wrapper, not one Church's Chicken Box, not one Coca-Cola bottle, not one thing. Regardless, if they put it down, we need to pick it up. Excuses plus mistakes now results. Again, if you like what you have, keep it. Thank you.
That's a very simple question. Can I ask anybody in here, you've been to Singapore? Anybody? Raise your hand. Singapore? Okay. That was my graduation present, to go to Singapore in '85, when I graduated from Birmingham Southern College. We talk about cleaning up. Guess what? You gotta have happy, satisfied employees to bring them back. We lost 64 street and sanitation, public works people since February. Make no mistake about it, they're the first people I talk to. They go into the polls and basket every motherfucking mile after because they know they have their rank 2.0 with me. Make no mistake about that. In terms of cleaning up the city, we gotta give them what they want. They work hard. So what I'm gonna do is every first and third week of the month, they're gonna be all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full weekend, so they can enjoy life and spend money in our city, hopefully. And I probably will not change back picking up garbage unless it's absolutely necessary. I'm doing everything by the law. So the bottom line is this. There's technology and there are laws that can be enforced to make people responsible for what they do. And it makes it a little extreme, some of the things, but it works in Singapore. There was a guy that threw a cigarette butt over in Singapore. Well, what about having folks to break laws to be in the park, their children, their family, cleaning up the parks, cleaning up the streets? That would be fined and have 30, 40 days in jail or go clean up the parks. And so there are a lot of things to change eventually behavior. You can just say clean up in 99 days. You know what? The culture here now, because it's filthy rap music that degrades our beautiful black women, they just throw stuff out the street. That comes from home, y'all. It comes from home. My mother always only had, in those days, they had dogs on the regular.
Cleanliness is next to godliness. It used to be a time when I was growing up that when we was traveling up and down the street, you know, you see someone throw a cigarette or a piece of paper out the window. And when they threw a piece of paper or whatever out the window, it would be a police officer that come, pull them over, and let them know they would fine people for that. It takes me back to when I lived in Boston, when I was working with the kids, and we used to sing the song, clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up, everybody do their share. I'm a single mother and of a son. In fact, I'm fit to be a grandmother any day now. But the thing about it is, I told him, I was like, we live together and we got to work together. And that's what I'm telling you all here in Birmingham. We live together and we got to work together. United, we stand, divided we fall. I'm all about unity. And that's what it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be no this person do this and that person do. We supposed to work together because that's what God put us all down here for. To work together, to love one another. And you know, and this world will be a better place to live in. You know, my cousin, and Coretta Scott King was my cousin. And her husband died for all of us, that we may live in peace and unity. Let's bring peace and unity back to Birmingham, because that's what God wants us to do. We live in the last and evil days, so let's do what God tells us to do. It ain't all about all of this American stuff and this and that.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Was the question about stopping illegal dumping?
Yes, ma'am. How would you address dumping throughout the city?
Okay, so illegal dumping is just that. It's illegal, and the mayor, by virtue of the Mayor Council Act, enforces our local laws. The city council's job is to have policy. We have policies in the city. It takes a bold mayor to make sure that if you see a no dumping sign, made enforceable and punishable by the city ordinance in terms of illegal dumping. In addition to that, we need to have more code enforcement officers anyway, that in the absence of a camera, or even if you have a camera, we need, again, the mayor's office to enforce it. So if it seems like my answers are short, that's what happens when you have institutional knowledge of how the city actually works according to the law. A law is no good if it's not enforced. And it is the mayor's job to enforce those laws. And so when it comes down again to dumping in this city, I've seen people dump right in front of a sign. And you know why? We don't enforce our laws of illegal dumping in this city. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So to your question, there's something I want to do first, and that is to thank a few people. I want to thank the neighborhood officers around the city who literally take the time, partnering with their neighbors to literally do cleanup days all the time. That's real work. They don't get paid for it. They do it because they love their neighborhood. Second person I want to thank is Commissioner Sheila Tyson, who has continued to partner with the city to help us purchase more cameras, particularly around continued dump sites, so we can actually catch people, which I will explain in detail in a minute. The success of that program, thanks to Commissioner Tyson. And then I want to thank Public Works, who does an amazing job, well beyond the grounds. Weekly, everybody, they average picking up 1,500 to 2,000 bags of litter every week. We should think how many bags of litter that is. And so, what have we done? And what are we doing? The first thing is we try pride where it resides first, and don't be a dummy campaign. Now, that wasn't dummy, that was an acronym that stood for something. illegally dumped in my backyard. However, the Pride campaign wasn't giving us the results we wanted. Then we hired more staff, public works. We hired more code enforcement officers. People still dump. As a matter of fact, one of the #1 requests we get is a no dumping sign. And what we find, the more that sign is up, the more people illegally dump. I want to give you recent news though. 2 weeks ago, in just 7 days, our police department arrested 12 people for environmental code violations. We have gone from pride campaigns to education campaigns to now arresting people because we can catch them on camera. And we will continue to build out our technology infrastructure around our city to continue to catch the people illegally dumping. You all have seen the videos where they dump and we make the arrests.
Thank you.
Look, y'all, I don't know any other way to talk to you but straight. We're the magic city, but everything that happens isn't by magic. We already know that if we neglect, anybody ever go into Publix? Nobody throws trash on the floor in Publix. Why? Because it's already clean. We know that when we neglect certain parts of town, that's going to be the part of town that has the most dumping. We know that when there are broken windows and broken houses, that you're going to have more illegal activity in those areas. This is just sociology right here. There are certain parts of town that are intentionally left without resource, without maintenance, and without care. And that's where criminals go. That's where illegal dumping is high, because already you've sent a message that we don't value this area as much. Also, I know this right here, that in certain parts of town, people are more transient than other parts of town. So that if we go to 1 time a month in bulky pickup, then we know that that's going to create a problem. This isn't magic right here, because people are moving. And when people are moving, what happens? They generate trash. If we were in business, then this is what we would do. Those places that have more transient people living there and have a greater need, then give them 2 times a month to make sure that we're keeping the area clean. Things don't happen by accident. Illegal dumping isn't the main problem. It is a symptom of a greater problem where we have divested or stopped investing in our western communities, northern communities, and other traditional communities, y'all. We got to do better.
All right, we want to welcome Mr. Jeremy Littlepage to the forum, who just joined us. All right, for our next question, I'll start with Johnson, and we'll go down to Woodson this way. All right, this question says, I have been living in East Brownsville and I've felt like nobody cares about my community. Winona Road is one of the most traveled roads in the area, yet it still remains the most hazardous. Why is this and what is being done about it?
Well, I'm familiar with this area because my brother used to pastor a church here in this area called the Willow Workers Presbyterian Church. But I just think that traveling these roads or whatever, because I personally don't drive. But the drivers that I use always complain about the bumpy roads and the potholes, that's tearing up their cars. You know, me, I would And we've been lost for words, but I give you the word to say things. I would get them fixed up, addressed. I would take the, community's complaints, you know, and have those complaints addressed. Because, you know, the thing about it, the customer and the citizen is supposed to always be happy. And that's what I'm here to do, to make people happy. You know, to do what the rightful thing in the community and within the Birmingham, and most of all within this world, that everybody have, you know, their own desires, and I would love to give people their heart's desires to the best of the ability that God gives me.
Thank you. Please pass the microphone.
So when you talk about dangerous roads again, and I'm so thankful that I heard about cameras, because as a commissioner, I purchased 30 cameras, and the sheriff is sitting over there, and they're not little cams, they actually get criminals on the street, right? And I want us to know that the reason why our roads are dangerous, our communities continue to be violated, you have no enforcement from the mayor. It takes the mayor to set the tone for the city. And when criminals know they can come into your community, they can speed, they can trash, they can do whatever they want to do, because the city does not enforce its own laws. That's the reason why you can go to other neighboring municipalities and you don't see trash. You don't see them speeding in the community. And you won't hear loud music because there's a noise ordinance. Because those people don't make excuses, and they do not tolerate laws being violated in their city. And that's the reason why when you ask about traveling the road, there are some roads in Birmingham should not have flammable material on your roadway, and it's in a residential community. But you know why they do that? Because again, the city does not take a bold stand to enforce its laws, work with other law enforcement agencies and other municipalities, get their best practices, but most of all, we got laws on our own books. Just use it. Instead of window dressing, let's be the mayor, take back our city, like I said, and let's get Birmingham back to the place where it belongs. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see that some people have a hard time answering the question, so I'll help us out. We're going to pave on the road. Now, as I've stated, prior to me serving as mayor, 3 predecessors combined did not put in the amount of money we had put in, $114 million over 7 years. That means a lot of streets have not been paved for years. We have put millions upon millions in street paving to not only catch up, but put us in the best position to make sure we can get to as many areas as possible. What does that look like? When I tell you that I'm going to support and engage every neighborhood, we track every dollar we spend. I can tell you today, since I have been mayor, in 99 neighborhoods, we have paved in 93 of them. Does that mean we've gotten to every street? Absolutely not. But everybody's been touched. 93 of the 99 neighborhoods have been touched and invested in from this $114 million. But I'll give you one better. And that is something simple. The City Council recently approved for us to go through the process where we can assess every single street in the city and then put us in the best position through an objective process to pave the worst streets first. Because when I became mayor, I inherited a list of streets with an unfunded mandate, but I intentionally found the money out of our general fund instead of borrowing money to pave streets, because this has been a #1 request from our residents. And tracking street paving, that's it. Related to all this other stuff you just heard, I don't even know what that means. What I can tell you is this. A mayor of any city, you are doing your best when you pave streets. And we have proof that we've done that, and we will continue to do that.
Thank you. Yes, I have a question again. I have lived in the East Brownville area for 12 years. I felt like nobody cares about my community. Winona Road is one of the most traveled roads, yet it still remains the most hazardous. Why is that, and what is being done about it?
And I'll say this right here, that it's more than a feeling. You know when you're being cared for. You know when you're being taken care of. You know when someone sits down at the table to do a deal, if they have you on their mind. And you know when they don't. Every road doesn't have to be repaid. Every road doesn't have the same amount of traffic on it. We should have a maintenance program on the most traveled roads that where we make more investment in those roads than we do the other roads. I believe that this administration is working hard. I believe that they're spending money. But this only works in politics world. Because if you try that on your job and you don't get the job done, you don't stay there very long. Let's have a real conversation. You don't get an A for effort. I'm passionate. Sorry. I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. You don't get an A for effort. You can't hire people. Then you don't keep your job as a manager at Wendy's. You can't hire people. Then there's nowhere else in corporate America where you keep your job. We have got to get it done. Ma'am, I'm sorry that we haven't cared as much as we should. But I promise you this, that when I'm elected mayor, when I sit down at the table to do the deal, I will have you on your mind, on my mind, on the most dangerous roads. The scary, the truck comes around, it looks like it's a big mega truck. My wife was afraid just coming here. We've got to figure out solutions. I understand the problem. We don't need a resolution for today, but we need solutions that work, and we need a mayor that finds solutions.
Thank you, Klein.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Everyone in the city must understand this statement right here. They are within our communities are struggling. Its response to me, October 13, 2019, who is our? We must also understand a book called How to Kill a City, also on his book club list. This book describes how they're right side of the city and intentionally neglecting areas in New Orleans and in Detroit. And we're copying them out. In our master plan in 2011, and when it was created and released in 2013 and 14, once again it says we must retreat from challenging resources to promote revitalization in these formerly industrialized areas. So if that's a policy, that's written down, that's intentional, we must change that. And then it was repeated in the 2017 SHAPE study under the current mayor and the previous mayor. We must change the policy. The next thing we must do, we must create more resources in the city. We have something called a neighborhood revitalization fund, but we keep giving away properties $1, $1,000. But the more we sell the properties for, the more we give back to these other areas. But we keep giving them away. If we have a protected stadium and we're putting up 55% of the budget, $90 million, and we're not intentional about making sure we gain as much revenue off of that as possible, we are losing. We need to figure out how to redo these contracts, but we are following the model that we've been following for 46 years. We must get more resources into our city. We must grow the underserved areas so that property values increase and our revenue in the city of Birmingham increase. And now we have more resources to focus on these areas. We must invest across the city. As Brian K. Rice, I will.
Thank you.
Listen, it's simple. Excuses plus mistakes counts as results. It goes back to my earlier statement, if you like what you have, keep it. And used. Street still isn't paid. This last year, $20 million put in place for neighborhood revitalization. After 8 years, make it make sense, Oxmoor. This is a simple formula. Go to City Hall and do the work of those who elect you and keep your promise. There's no excuse for the street not to be paid. You need an administrator who's going to take the time to keep the word that they gave you before you elected them to office. The streets are paved in Forest Park. The sidewalks are fixed in Forest Park. The streets are paved in Crestline. The streets are paved in Crestwood. But they're not paved over here in Brownville. Make it make sense. Again, excuses plus mistakes cancels results. The bottom line is, in some places, the bar is set so high because they get everything they want. So the realization is this. The question is going to be on August 26th. Do you want your streets paved? Do you want the paper picked up? Do you want people in City Hall to answer your phone calls and don't give you the answer before you can even tell them the question? The question is simple. If you like what you got, keep it. But the bottom line is, after 8 years, 12 years, I don't care if it's 1 year, the street should have been paved by now. We need a comprehensive paving plan that counts in every neighborhood, not just in one neighborhood, not 2 neighborhoods, but every neighborhood. And certainly neighborhoods that are less or thought to be more disadvantaged than others because they're not on the other side of town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have friends that live in this community. I walked over here, as I told you before, I walked this entire city. This will be the 3rd time. We won't quite get the whole city. I'm 68 years old. I love the entire Birmingham community. My friends over here, Sheriff Mark Petway. The other one is Chief Wayne Brooks. They live in what I call estate property houses. When I become mayor, I'm bringing one of the best people back to Birmingham. They worked for the previous administration. They sent him to New Orleans after Katrina tore it up, and he straightened it out. He left there and went to San Francisco. He is a black man that is on the board of MIT, because he's an MIT graduate and a Stanford graduate. He called me after trying to get him for 3 or 4 months. I said, I think I'm going to win this. Or at least give him a runoff, and I know I win. He is coming back to Birmingham. His sister is taking him over to Atlanta. You get the best person, and you know what his specialty is? Getting resources. We need resources. You got a lake down here, right down here. I'm going to develop that lake like we got the one across on the other side, but even better, that they have on the other side of Lakeshore. How many of y'all have been to the lake on the other side of Lakeshore? Raise your hands, please. How many? None of y'all? Okay, thank you. We're going to develop the one you got on this side. It's beautiful. I went down there. I like the outdoors. I'm going to develop that lake for you where you feel good to go down there and feel safe to walk. Resources. People get up here and tell you anything about what they're going to do. You can't blame Mayor Whitfield, you can't blame the mayor before him. Well, maybe you blame the mayor before him, because they could have developed y'all's whole lake right here. You got a Publix, it's like Mr. Man said, you're fortunate to have a lot of stuff here that they don't have in other parts of town. And that's what I do.
Thank you. All right, candidates, we're almost there. We got about 3 questions left. All right, this first question here will go to Skills. We'll start with Skills. How do you address homelessness in both the short and long term? How do you address homelessness in both the short and long term?
Thank you. Let me first go back to one quick thing about having institutional knowledge. When we talk about these streets, you do know that you all passed a $150 million bond deal in 2012 for the same roads we talked about borrowing money from again to pay the same roads that we said that we were going to pay before. In addition to that, when we're talking about homelessness in the city of Birmingham, we have stopped partnering with more than just one agency that can help us with homelessness in our city. Most of all, some people are not even residents of Birmingham, they're just being dropped off in Birmingham. In fact, anything that's undesirable is getting dropped off in Birmingham because it's allowed. And the reason why it's allowed because we have a do-nothing mayor that don't want to do nothing. You make up excuses for everything that goes on in this city. So if we want to do something truthfully about homelessness, be intentional about partnering with organizations that this is what they specialize in. My church right now, that's what we have, is a homeless unit downtown. You got to be intentional about helping people. A lot of people are not homeless because they want to be. Some of it may be mental, some of it may be drugs. But we have partners in Birmingham that want to help us, but you want to continue to be an island so you can take the credit for what gets done in Birmingham. Again, this is not hard, folks. When you take back your city, you're going to find a leader that has solutions, looking for solutions, and then will act on those solutions. But don't forget about these roads. You already paid for that. You can Google that. 2012, $150 million bond. The city needs to get busy taking care of our roads and streets and also our homeless community. Thank you.
Well, just to be clear, everybody, since we had a hard time actually being honest, from some candidates out here, $150 million wasn't for street paving only, it was for everything, which included parks, rec centers, sidewalks, and a host of things. So only a small portion of that went to street paving. On the topic at hand, homelessness, it's probably nothing more important than the mayor can do. Do everything they can to take care of the most vulnerable population in the community. We've done that since day one. The question was, what do you do short term, what do you do long term? Short term, the first thing we did was we realized there were not enough emergency beds in our city. And so we spent over $1 million in support of various organizations, which included Firehouse Shelter, to expand the number of emergency beds in the city. Two, we worked with AIDS Alabama and expanded additional beds for our unhoused for those experiencing AIDS as well. Then we partnered with Veterans Affairs and our Veteran Hospital to make sure we can take care of our veterans who needed a lot of assistance. And that is through various things, including a mobile van that provided on-site service for those who could not make it to Veterans Hospital. But long term, let's talk about what we're doing and what we will do. This budget also includes an additional $1.5 million, we're talking about $800,000 we receive every year that goes to various organizations throughout the community. So when this candidate tells you you don't partner with people, that's just simply not true because our budget is public record. And you can see all the various agencies we give money to support our unhoused community. This week, just today, it was approved the budget and finance for our micro shelters. And you will see vertical construction for more micro shelters, tiny homes for our homeless people, our homeless unhoused population this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Addressing homelessness has become a priority in our continuum of care. But we gotta be data-driven, we gotta be smart. We sent $1.75 million out to California to some folks out there who work with homelessness in California. They got Skid Row. Their approach to it is different than our approach because we're sacrificing businesses downtown. I listened to the District 1 forum or report back, and the guys that were with the entity and also One Roof, they were so proud of the fact that when you had a homeless person sleeping in the doorways of your church or of your business or of your shed, that they rolled up on. You just call them and they'll roll up. And they'll come and they will build a relationship with them. And then at the end of talking about what they did, they were very proud. But we did not ask them to leave. Again, we had a resolution, we had a response, but really not a really resolution, and certainly not a solution. We got to invest those resources into our continuum of care, put the dollars into them, pay them $250,000 to fly out here, but let's figure out how to come alongside of the people that are homeless, not just chronic in the street, but the people that are sleeping on their relatives' couches. The seniors, because rents are rising. The lady broke down crying to me in the parking lot of a grocery store because she could no longer afford to stay. So we've got to take the housing stock we've got, work with what we got, and make it affordable so that we can allow people, everyday people, to own a part of Birmingham. We have what it takes. It's time for the leadership. I will provide it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to channel Willie King. 3 to 5 days a week, I walk across the street. I walk in the abandoned building. 90% of the roof is gone. And my best worker works in that building. 70 years old, think today or tomorrow. Whenever I need work, I find King. There are a lot of Kings across the city. They are good people. They have no work. In Ensley, near Phelan Park, across from Dreamland, we must understand the history of Dreamland. We must understand the history of Phelan Park. They call it Needle Park. They call it Felon Park because the homeless, the addicted, would go there on a regular basis and they would say, tear the park up. But in 1995, we called it a fellowship house. They intentionally hired those from that community to help rebuild the park. We must invest in our squatters. We must invest in our underserved. We must give them an opportunity to improve their life. We must improve the mental health opportunities, and we cannot keep sending money to California when we have homeless companies here that need to grow, that need to develop. We need to keep our tax dollars in Birmingham, Alabama. I am committed to the underserved. That's the #1 reason I'm in here. How do we create healthy and balanced communities? To Wendell, another very homeless guy or unhoused guy, all he wanted to do was work, had no opportunity. We will invest in the underserved under Brian K. Rice. I am committed to them, both for Brian K. Rice.
Again, go to the van.mayor.com. I have a very detailed plan of action for every issue that is going to be asked here tonight. Listen, again, this homeless crisis is out of hand. Many of you have been seeing me on Facebook. I've been doing a series called Make It Make Sense Birmingham. I get called to various neighborhoods on a daily basis because people like you want me to see how they live. I'm going to suggest to each one of you sitting here that in your leisure time, try to improve some of all of these neighborhoods. Because many of us have become desensitized to realities of just how bad this homeless crisis is. You can barely go into a service station. You can barely walk the streets. Squatters are everywhere. But this was the most telling thing that was said a few weeks when I talked to several homeless people. I talk to them every day. They come by McDaniel's Law all the time. And this is what they said, and it's on point. Birmingham, I said, why are you here? Where do you all come from? They said, well, many of us don't live here. We have a CELL, C-E-L-L. That means they have a way of communicating to know where to go. But this is what was telling. She said, listen, Birmingham is like the United States without a president. Because the mayor and the leadership here is not going to do anything about it. In other words, she said, we're free. I'm just telling you what was said. And I think I did record it. This is what she said. The realization is my plan is simply called Operation Friends in Transition. We're going to have to build or open up warehousing, some degree of spacing, but we're going to have to create shelter spaces The more shelters you have, the more opportunities you have to get the homeless off the streets. But there must be a transition plan.
Thank you.
You cannot do it without a transition. Go to the vanforbear.com. Thank you.
The homeless crisis is extremely serious all over this country because people have been socially engineered, and there's copious amounts of information that talks about the social engineering. The majority of them are black because we as a people have taken so much in terms of attacks. I'm not even talking about slavery, I'm talking about discrimination. I'm talking about towns being turned or burned down after we didn't get the 40 acres on you out of 15 with Sherman. We have to find solutions, and so part of what I would like to do is to have a team of social workers to make a law to find out where these people are coming from. We know they're coming from other cities. Well, I know that, the mayor knows that. They're shipping them here because Birmingham has the resources, and Mobile, Montgomery, and other cities don't. So they ship them here, and they stay here in order to get the resources. But, now there are two places in my community. I live in Smithfield, and done most of my life. They're on First and Second, that's 3rd and 2nd Avenue. The lady that has a building that has been complaining about how they trash it up. How can you trash something when you got trash bags that you can just simply pick up, put your trash in? These are not mentally ill people. I talked to them. In fact, they put cones across the street the other day when I was coming through there on the way to downtown. I'm going to find solutions to solve that problem, but we have to make them responsible. We have to give them self-esteem and self-love. These people have been beat down so bad. I will find that solution.
Time, thank you. All right, for a matter of time here, because we're running out of time. Our last two, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Johnson, did you need me to read it again, or you got it? Okay, sorry.
This is something personal for me. I cater to the homeless. I personally was homeless. I just came in off of a homeless situation since November. I stayed out at Land Park for a few days. I stayed out at Kelly Park for a few days. Till I and my dog DJ was but mistreated to leave. So therefore, I went to George Ward Park. I stayed out there for about almost 9 months. I got my proof right here. I ended up in a tent. This is part of my tent that I was living in. Because sometimes you have to have proof to show you, look at, to show you how far God brought you. And I just want you all to know that the homeless, like I said, I cater to them. In fact, tomorrow I'm going out to do my missionary work at Kelly Park. I go out, I witness to them, I sing. Someone asked why I have my microphone, because I sing, I'm entertaining as well. I have so many things that God has gifted and blessed me to do. But the homeless are my heart, because the Bible said that you do to the least of them, you do unto me. He said also be careful how you entertain strangers, because you could be entertaining angels unaware. So we got to be careful how we treat one another, because, all of us, nobody had it going on for real, because all of us are going through something in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You never know when it's going to be your time. Your time might not be today or tomorrow, but you never know when your time might show up.
Thank you so much. Final 2 questions, but we're gonna cut your responses to 1 minute for the sake of time. Responses to 1 minute. Final 2 questions. This one will start with Yvonne. There has been a lot of talk about crime. There may be underlying issues. What are you prepared to do to address and support those in need of mental health services and provide more youth activities?
That was crime, was it not?
Yes. There's been a lot of talk about crime, but there may be underlying issues. What are you prepared to do to address and support those in need of mental health services and provide more youth activities?
Listen, it's simple. It's a simple formula. Again, not every crime warrants law enforcement or sworn able certified officers being on the scene. We must address those issues when we receive those 911 calls that can be monitored to determine whether a social worker or someone in that field is there. This has been an issue that we have been discussing on the state level for some time. There are many organizations in many neighborhoods and cities throughout the country that is now employing those types of efforts. I know I have to speak really quick, but that is one of the things that if you go to thevanvermeer.com, you'll see. But with regards to the youth, it is a simple formula. My program is called Your Child, Our Child. Listen, I get tired of hearing people say the kids in Birmingham are bad, or the kids on the west side are bad. It's not that the kids on the west side are so bad, or in Birmingham, but they don't have anything else to do. Community centers run down, no new technology, nothing innovative.
Thank you. Mr. Appleton. 1 minute, 1 minute. I love y'all, but I know y'all don't want to be here all night.
Please repeat the question. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. There has been a lot of talk about crime, but there may be underlying issues. What are you prepared to do to address and support those in need of mental health services and provide more youth activities?
Well, I know I addressed that the last time I had the mic in my hand. Y'all heard me talk about mental health, doing evaluations, and have a team of people to come out. Well, I'm a victim in that we got a gym that William Bell built over in Fountain Heights, and he supported Mr. Van, by the way. They don't even have an indoor pool. That is just a waste of time and just total stupidity. An indoor pool in a building that big, that many millions of dollars going there. Martin Park is huge. They could have expanded it. That's what he didn't do because it was political. He wanted to get something done expeditiously. And so I will build world-class athletic complexes for our youth so that I won't have to drive to Bessemer where I can take my grandson out to Birmingham Southern clothes so that we can have world-class athletes that can compete globally. Just like I can do with my grandson, guess what? We can do with all of our children. They're not bad. They just need an opportunity to grow.
Time, thank you. Mr. Rice. 1 minute, Mr. Rice.
Trauma is compounding in our communities. There's nothing there. When I came back to Birmingham, I was mentoring on a regular basis at the different rec centers. But I said, I have no resources. So I said, let me go buy some buildings to create residual income so we can create workforce development programs, so we can create more mentoring programs, so we can create more entrepreneurs, so we can use the revenue to support the community. I'm around a lot of traumatized people. There's a lot of depression. We must invest in our communities. Our communities are intentionally neglected. Everyone that I know in leadership have done everything possible to turn a blind eye for a young man, mechanical engineer, trying to develop and bring positive life to our communities. When it comes to our youth, we must create multi-purpose recreational facilities. I created designs for what Legion Field could look like, what Ensign Park could look like, what the Prospect look like. But for whatever reason, we have to go to Hoover, we have to go to McCollum, and other areas.
Thank you. Johnson?
Could you read it again?
Absolutely, I'm happy to. There's been a lot of talk talk about crime. However, there may be underlying issues. What are you prepared to do to address and support those in need of mental health services and provide more youth activities?
Well, as far as the crime and everything, like I say, I would start to put down the gun, pick up the Bible initiative. And as far as the youth, I would have like recreational centers to build, swimming pools. We would have like, like I say, I'm an entertainer. And we would have singing contests, so that they could show their gifts and talents. No, it would be a crime shame for someone to go to the grave without using their gifts and talents. As far as the police, I want you all to know that I give thanks to Lieutenant Andrews and Officer Adam, because they was the one that got me off of the street last year. Lieutenant Andrews said, Mayoral, I'm not going to sit here and let you die out here on these streets.
Thank you.
City of Birmingham gives a lot of support to UAB. UAB can then, in turn, give back to the city of Birmingham and its residents. They have psychological and psychiatric care, and we can employ UAB to be able to provide services based upon the nature of what you just asked. In addition to that, Birmingham already has a division of youth services. As mayor, you have to make sure, not election year services, but the division of youth services have to be working at full capacity. We don't have to find activities to do. We already have a department they just need to do.
At the speed read my answer, let's just make some notes here just to remind people. Conflict resolution is what we've invested in the last 3 years to teach our children how to better regulate their emotions, de-escalate situations, a host of other things that takes care of their mental and emotional well-being. 2, separate and apart from that, we partner with the school system from our budget, support a minimum of $1 million a year for the last several years for mental health to go directly to our youth, that's K-12, 6-8, and 9-12. We've also extended the hours of our rec centers. 2 years ago, we had this idea that we wanted Birmingham recreation centers to be safe havens for our children. So whatever issues they just at home, if they couldn't get in the community or from a family member or a church, they could come to our public facilities, and now that exists as well. We also revamped our PAT as well as established the Birmingham Youth Sports League. This budget this year included a minimum of $500 million to support an organized effort to support youth sports as well.
Thank you.
Testing. This is the area right here that breaks my heart. Breaks my heart because we're in a community that's traumatized. For every one person that is killed, there's probably about another 8 with a wound. And then when you see the yellow tape, you see the mothers holding their toddlers in their hand and little kids standing there watching the yellow tape. You got PTSD, you got issues. It's critical incident stress management. We're doing nothing to help them deal with living in a war zone, with seeing a dead body. It is not normal. It's not normal for a mother to hold her kids in her arms and look at yellow tape, y'all. So we've got to invest in the nonprofits that provide critical incident stress management because the folks are about to lose their mind. That's a big part of what's happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Final question for tonight. We'll start with Mr. Whitman. Final question for tonight. 1 minute. What sets you apart from all of the other candidates, and why should people vote for you?
One, we have a track record of actually making things work and moving with progress in the city and all the things people say they care about. Two, I want to answer the question that sets me apart. The exception of this amazing young lady right here in Vermont, Africa, all our homes are running out of space. He's mad because we requested $1 billion from the city and he didn't give it to him because this nonprofit was not proper payment. The last 8 months, she's run for 5 offices and 2 times against me, and she's just mad because she couldn't get her way when she was a city councilor. Brian Rice borrowed money for his building, he couldn't get anything from the city, and he sued the city in federal court last year, and the judge dismissed the suit. And I think that young lady just mad about me. Point is, what sets me apart is my heart is in it for the people, and I'm serving the people when everyone else is running out of spite.
Thank you. Johnson, same question. What sets you apart from the other candidates and why should people vote for you?
I want each and every one of you all, my brothers and sisters, to let you all know that I love you. It ain't nothing personal. I thank God for you, man, Wolfman, no matter what nobody else say. I love you, and I'm glad that you are the leader. But it's not a competition thing to me. It's a God thing to me. What set me apart is that I will bring prayer back into Birmingham, because that's where it first starts at. Prayer first. We got to bring God first back in, you all, so that we can live, so Birmingham can be resuscitated, you know. And so if I can help, my motto is if I can help somebody, then my living down here on earth would not be in vain. That's why I ask you all to vote Marilyn James Johnson on August the 26th for mayor of Birmingham.
Thank you. Time. Mr. Woodson, same question. What sets you apart from the other candidates? Why should people vote for you? Less than a minute.
Let me say this right here for real. Petty differences don't matter when people are hurting.
That's right.
What sets me apart, I have a heart for the people, and I've shown that. Over 12,000 kids going to college from our college scholarship fair. We've had over 1 million Alabamians during the pandemic because we cared. And I'm never going to apologize by asking anybody for our dollars back to come and be reinvested in Birmingham to help folks in Birmingham. I'm going to DC, I'm going to Montgomery, wherever I got to go, because our people are hurting, and somebody has to care enough to put their ego and pride aside. I'm willing to do that. I want to be your next mayor, and I'll fight for you. And the waterworks ain't over with yet. While the others sat down and were quiet, I will fight for you. It ain't over until we win. Thank you.
What sets you apart from the other candidates and why should people vote for you?
I'm gonna come out for this one. Let me tell you something. What set me apart is the fact that I genuinely love people, but you know what? I got the battle scars to prove it. Nobody, not one of them, including this other gentleman, that can say that you have taken on a fight and got attacked for it, and you still kept fighting for people. In addition to that, let me also say this. What separates me is I have a proven track record that I can put on paper. You know, when people hold you accountable, that doesn't make them attack you personally. Look at this. I have a track record of what sets me apart: city and county experience, policy, budgeting, and most of all, I work for you. I'm a servant leader. I make no doubt about it. Tuesday, August 26th, vote for a leader that's not arrogant enough to believe that we got to
the other candidates, and why should people vote for you?
A lot of people do a whole lot of talking, but they got paid to do their job. To put in 40 years of community service as a volunteer, to be recognized, no political interest at that time, to be recognized by Arrington and the full council, 25 years of outstanding community service. Committee for Prisoner Support, 39 years of helping people get their rights back. 39 years, started in 1984. NAACP, outstanding community service, Hezekiah Jackson, 2 years in a row. Outcast Advocacy Award. Outstanding father, also of Central Alabama, Birmingham Post-Town. The record speaks for itself. I did that as a volunteer. These folks were on the payroll for either a county commissioner, a city councilor, or something else.
Thank you for time.
Hosea 4:6 says God. Hosea 4:6 says my people are destroyed.
John is out. Thank you.
Can we state the question?
Sure, absolutely. What sets you apart from the other candidates, and why should people vote for you?
First of all, because I'm me. I have the experience, and I'm not just qualified, I'm overly qualified, but I want to address one thing. I didn't pick a fight tonight, but I'm going to end with this. 8 years ago, someone asked you for your vote, but they also said the crime is high, blame me. They asked you for your vote, and they said that they didn't believe in a mayor having more than 2 terms. They asked you for your vote, and they said they would fix the potholes, pick up the paper, clean the streets, and clean up the debris. Also, they said they would help to stop to fight the crime. 1,000 people dead, 1,000 mothers and fathers who lost their child, their children and daughters, and screaming out, "That's my child, that's my baby." I'm running to save Birmingham and to save lives, and the lives that you didn't do anything to save. You don't want all the people to even say one thing, not even I'm sorry. Make it make sense, Birmingham.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
As I'm the one close, I rebuke the spirit of deception. I rebuke the spirit of the devil. I've never seen so many lies. A city attorney approving properties for her husband and a realtor. $9 million, $10 million guaranteed to the Ramsey McCormick development since 2019, and we still only have a parking lot. Properties in Pratt City at 1430 Pratt Highway built on contaminated land. But they won't talk about that, they want to hide it. Things like that, I hate injustice. My father hated injustice, and I'm thankful for my mother and my father and all the principles they've taught me. I am committed to integrity. I'm committed to be creating a standard of excellence in Birmingham. I am committed to solutions, to bringing resources to the under-resourced. I am committed to supporting development across the city. I am committed to doing what is right because it is right. And I will always rebuke the devil.
Thank you, time. We're now at our closing statements. We'll start with Johnson. You have 1 minute.
Well, in my closing statement, like I say, I am an advocate for the homeless and for who God have me to be. We got one minute, so I'm gonna leave this with you. This is what I do. I trust in God, my Savior, the one who will never fail. He will never fail. I trust in God, my Savior, the one who will never fail. He will never fail.
closing statement, 1 minute.
First of all, I want to thank the Oxmoor Foundation for hosting this informative meeting on tonight. Thank you all for coming out, and I hope that it was worth your time. I want to just say this very quickly. When people distort your record because they don't have a record to stand on, I want you all tonight to go to scalesbhm.com. We have had 8 years of do nothing, 8 years before of do nothing. We don't have 16 years, and to give 4 more away, that's 20 years. Birmingham is shrinking. We just had someone killed today. Over 945 reported homicides, and you still being told lies. Always talking about the future, but I'll leave you with this. You ever want to judge a man or a woman by what they say that they're going to do? You judge them by what they've already done. We're here tonight because nothing is done. I'm telling you this, your city. Stop acting like you're a visitor. I want you to know you're a resident and a taxpayer. You're more than just a voter. Tuesday, August 26th, I want you to take back your city.
Thank you. 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again for the opportunity tonight. Listen, everybody, municipal government is a team sport. I work really well with this current city council. I work well with County Commissioner Sheila Tyson. I work well with the Jefferson County delegation. And collectively, we've done enough in the last 8 years to get us to the point where crime is down and police recruitment is up. Homicides today are down more than 50% in our city compared to last year. And let me be very clear, 1 homicide is too many. But we have been making strides to keep people safe. And we're not just spiking the ball this early, but we have tangible results that this city in 2025 is safer than last year. And we're going to continue that momentum through partnerships with a whole lot of community residents, organizations, and others. The last thing I'll say is I have less than 30 seconds. There's an election in 14 days and about 3.5 hours. We'll be honored to have your vote so we can continue the job together on continuing to invest in our city's infrastructure and more things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, Birmingham is a magic city. When you're lying, no, it ain't magic. It's not calling any name. We want a leader that's going to be honest with you.
That's right.
If I can't build it, I'm going to tell you I can't build it. Downtown Inslee, it's not going to be built. There's no demand for it. The can will be kicked down the road. Crossplex, it won't be built. Even though they told you over and over again, 15 days, 15 days, 15 days. I live in that community. And people got to know that you've got a leader that has integrity, that you can trust, and when there's nobody around, they're going to stand up for you. I promise you, I've shown that. I've turned and walked away from money. I will stand for you. And I'm asking you for a job. And I won't let you down. I promise you that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian K. Rice, and I ask for your vote too. I'm committed to integrity as number 1. Committed to the economy and ethics. Committed to make sure we support our local business first. I am committed to holding any city official accountable for selling properties to themselves, approving it for their family members. I am committed to. I'm committed to doing the right thing because we have to get guardrails back in this city. We have to recreate the standard. I am committed. I know what it's like to stand in a courtroom and 13 and 14 attorneys on the other side. I am not afraid to stand for right. I am not afraid. I will stand for every citizen in the city of Birmingham. I'm going to make sure there's an economic rights group and a property group to protect all of our taxpayers. I want our lawyers and our attorneys working for taxpayers so we can build this city properly. I am committed to excellence. I am committed to the underserved. I am committed to Birmingham.
Thank you.
I'll start as I finish as I started. If you won't like what you have, keep it. My mother always told me, if a man loves you, he'll take care of you. If you're a woman, he'll make sure you have somewhere nice to stay. He'll pay your bills. He'll also make sure that the grounds that you walk on are well kept. If a man loves you, Oxmoor, you all need to decide if this man right here loves you all. Love is what? What love does. 8 years ago, there were promises made that have not been kept. 8 years ago, this man said he loved you all. On August 26th, you need to decide. Did he love you like he said he would? Or did he fail to love you? Did he make every promise? And did he keep it? Again, if you like what you have, keep it. I close with these words as I started. This city has had every kind of man leader it is. A white man, old man, young man, tall man, short man, every kind of man but a woman. August 26th, vote State Representative Gwendolyn Lee the band, mayor of the city of Birmingham.
Calm down. Because Ms. Mr. Wayne got to get back to college now where she is.
Mr. Africa has the floor. Mr. Africa has the floor. Go ahead.
Day one, when I get into City Hall, I will focus on building world-class athletic complexes in Anson, I here in the Lakeshore area, and I will look at St. Valley. They need grocery stores out there. I will annex Forestdale for the population and Brighton for the industrial park for development, so we can also have an expedition track, so we're going to take our young men's cars, we will let them come out there and prove their expertise in driving instead of doing it on the highways and our city streets. I will demand the $5 million back from the Birmingham Southern Board, or I will start foreclosure proceedings immediately. And I will go to them, talk to them about developing a STEM, an agricultural campus, which will stimulate growth, prosperity, stabilization for the entire west side of Birmingham.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Alabama Media Professionals and the Oxmoor Valley Foundation, can we thank all of our candidates